Hello everyone and welcome back guys to Project Cars 2. Yeah, today we are finally starting off my first ever league race on this game. And yeah, we're here today for the real TORA. Some of you guys, that have followed this channel for quite a while will know that I have done a few endurance races in this league. But today we are here for the first, well, round 3 and round 4 actually of the Ginetta SuperCup. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the first couple of races as I was at F1 Esports. But yeah, hopefully, these next couple of races tonight can go nice and well. Unfortunately, only in B lobby for this race, as qualifying on my game decided to run at about 10 FPS permanently, which meant I couldn't get a good lap in. But yeah, this is not the correct grid order either. We will have one formation lap, make sure, we do get into the right places. I'm actually starting P7 in this race, actually last of all the EVR boys. Unfortunately, we had 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th and 7th in B lobby there, which probably, we wanted to try and get as many drivers in A lobby as we could. But hopefully, this first race, for me, it was just about the FPS looked fine overall. So it was all about just trying to make sure that we could keep the car clean. And, basically, I sort of just wanted to enjoy this game. So a car that I haven't really driven before, the Ginetta G55 GT4. So, it's still got a bit of grunt to it. And, it's quite a good, fun little car to drive. I'd highly recommend it if you do have this game. But yeah, the only non-EVR member in the top 7 was P1R Gamble. So hopefully, if you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would be pretty damn crazy. And then hopefully for next week we can try and focus on making sure we do get into A lobby here. We see coming through in towards the third sector actually. We've got, I think it's Goatee behind me if I'm not mistaken. But we're still in the formation that, making sure we don't have any incidents. Try and keep it nice and clean up towards the finish line. We will be going 2x2 formation, ready for the start. But yeah, hopefully, just the aim, try and keep it out of issues. Here at Knockhill, it's quite a horrible circuit, it really does just absolutely bite back at you if you try to push the car. Not really too sure what's happened there. There was a bit of contact between a couple of drivers. Don't really know what was going on there, in all honesty. But yeah, hopefully, we can just sort of focus on making sure we get off to a clean start. Yeah, there goes Kieran back on to the track there. But now we need to try and bunch up the whole field there. And I'm getting caught out behind Rapids here as he goes for a bit of an odd start. But yeah, I think everyone's bunching up now, ready to go. Not really too sure what that start is, I'm not going to lie. But down in towards turn 1, and it's green flag racing here, and I'm going to have a look straight down the inside of Dom in towards turn 1. They try and keep it nice and tidy there. P1R Gamble completely bins it through turn 1. Chirac there has gone a little bit wide as well, but he gets back on the track. Ben, just in front of me there, bins it, and I unfortunately just dinking there. Fortunately for me, not getting too much damage from that, but yeah, just a little bit. Which probably isn't ideal. Losing the back end though through turn 4 as we tack way too much curb there. Kieran made exactly the same mistake there, so I think that's Goatee's going to be able to go fly back past me there. Up now into P3 of the race. But overall, that start, apart from a couple of small mistakes from me, we've kept out with next to no damage, and that, that's probably the best thing we can ask for. They've made a few positions as well, but you can see Chirac and Burnout are already running out the way at the front here as we come through the final corner to finish the first flying lap of this race. And we're still all over the back of Goatee here. Hopefully, we can just try and apply some pressure, because this is really, what a track like Knockhill, you basically just want to try and apply as much pressure as you possibly can and wait for the driver ahead to make a mistake. Not really too many opportunities to be going for moves around this circuit as we come through turn 3. See Goatee, he's using all that curb, so he's clearly got a bit of rhythm in this car already here, and that's, another big thing. Just got to get rhythm there, but unfortunately, as soon as I say that, completely jinxed him there. He makes a bit of a mistake, runs wide through turn 4 there, and now we move back up into the podium positions there. So we've made up 4 places in the first lap and a half, and now skipping on to the end of lap 8 here. Chirac and Burnout, they were still quite close between them, and unfortunately for me, I sort of found myself in a bit of no man's land at the moment. We sort of found myself a little bit, alone in this race. We had about an 8-second gap to the cars behind me, which I think at this point was Dom or Rapids, and about 7-6 second gap to Chirac ahead of me. So our focus was still on the cars ahead of me here as we come through turn 1 and turn 2. Brilliant couple of corners when you can finally start to get it right here. And it's actually a really good fun track once you've learned it. But yeah, coming through sector 2, just trying to make sure that chicane you've just got to try and attack as much as possible. Though you can see on the mini-map though, Burnout has actually made quite a big mistake there through sector 2 here, and I'm going to be able to pounce on that. He's going to move out of the way, quite luckily. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, we're going to now move up into P2 of the races. This is looking quite good for myself. Chirac is about 5.5, 6 seconds up the road, as I think he got caught out ever so slightly by Burnout, making that tiny bit of a mistake. But, you know, the hunt was still on, because at the moment I, you know, felt quite confident with this car. I wasn't going to lie. And as we come over the line onto lap 14, you see the gap was actually coming down just a bit at the moment. We've taken about another second out of Chirac over the last few laps, and there are a couple of laps cars now around the circuit. As you can see, once we've managed to navigate our way through all of them, I was closing up to Chirac a fair bit. You know, 3 laps to go of this race, the gap down to about 2.5 seconds there. As you can see, coming through sector 2 there, Kieran making another bit of a mistake there, won't be very happy with that. And Dom, unfortunately there, you know, he got out of the way Chirac as well as he possibly could, but Chirac did lose out on a bit of time there as they went through sector 2, and hopefully, you know, that's going to help me out just that bit more here. Dom going to peel off to the side to let me through as well, and now I think Chirac is starting to feel just a little bit of pressure from behind here. So see, he makes a little bit of a mistake through the final corner there. We were able to get a nice apex there, hooking up nicely through the final corner here, and now you can see the gap now down to just under a second here as we go 2 laps to go of this race. I'm setting my own personal best as well as at the moment, so you know, this is looking quite good myself. And now, as I said, you know, earlier on, it's all about trying to apply the pressure to the cars ahead, and, you know, just try and really, you know, force them to make a bit of a mistake. Not going to go for any risky moves on, you know, one of my EVR teammates, but, you know, don't, you know, never really want to make contact with one of your own drivers. But yeah, hopefully, you know, if Chirac makes a bit of a mistake, I'm more than happy to try and pounce on it as we come through sector 2 here. This was one corner throughout the whole evening I was consistently able to just get that tiny bit better than Chirac ahead of me here. As we come through, he's playing a little bit defensive at the moment. He's starting to get a little bit worried about me behind me, and as we break down into the final corner there, Chirac once again not able to hook it up nicely on the apex there. We're just going to be able to take a few more car lengths out of him as we come out of the final corner now. But onto lap 20 of the race here, and we are all over the back of Chirac here. You know, we've just got to wait, you know, for an opening to bring itself to me. You know, Chirac, not a guy that often makes mistakes here as we come through turn 2 and turn 3 there, but he's locked up. He's made a tiny bit of a mistake there, and we're now in the lead of the race with just 2 laps to go there, and 7th to P1, and all now we really need to do is just try and make sure that we do keep it on the island. Chirac, you know, he's kicking himself thanks to that mistake as we come through sector 2 here though, and this is exactly, you know, what well, not exactly what I wanted, you know, but I still wanted to win the race for EVR Team Yellow here. But yeah, Chirac certainly not happy with that mistake he just made there as we come through the final couple of corners. He thinks about going for a move there, but I just about shut the door, didn't expect him to go for what seemed like quite a late lunge there. But coming on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, as you can see, we're actually now behind ESR Dizzle as we come through sector 2 once more, get a much better run than him, able to now lap him. So we've lapped all the way up to P4 in this race there, so quite a spread out Grand Prix on the whole. We've got Chirac still all over the back of me as we break it down in towards the final couple of corners of this race. Chirac just too far back to be able to go for a move there, and up towards the line. We are going to win my first race in the Ginetta SuperCup. Unfortunately, it was B-lobby there, but still, 7th to 1st. I was pretty happy with that result, and the second race order is done by the results from the first race there. So, you know, I was feeling confident moving on into the second race. If we could get into a rhythm nice and early on, you know, really, I reckon I could, you know, get back-to-back wins there. But Chirac, yeah, certainly not happy with the mistake he made there. But hopefully, you know, we can just try and score as many points for EVR as we can in the second race there. There was confirmation at the end. Actually able to get, I think I got the best lap overall in that qualifying, in that race session there. So quite happy with that. But yeah, I came first, Chirac second, with Burnout third there. So in EVR 1, 2, 3 on the whole. Goatee came fourth, ESR Dizzle fifth, Rapids in sixth, Hurricane seventh, Miko in eighth, Ben in ninth, and then I think we have P1R Gamble and someone else who unfortunately did retire from that first race there. But yeah, that was the end of race 1, and let's now move on into race 2 of the evening. As I said, you're in the order from the end of race 1. This, you know, that means I will be on pole position for the start of the second race here, as we see on towards the end of the formation lap here. I was feeling quietly confident. You know, Chirac usually on these more sim-style games is a huge amount quicker than me, so, you know, to be able to beat him tonight, you know, I was very, very happy with that, no matter what happened in the second race there. But out of the final corner, I'm ready to call the green whenever I want. Going to make sure everyone is quite bunched up though. You know, don't really want a ridiculously spread out grid like we had in race 1 there. But up towards the line we go. When am I going to go? I'm going to go just as I get over the board. They're going to floor it out there. And we have got a bit of a better start than Chirac, as you can see. Unfortunately, a little bit of party delay there meant that I can call the green and make it a little bit off ground over Chirac, so nice and clean through turn 1 there, and that was exactly the start that I needed here. Get the car nicely pinched over the turn 3 apex there, and this, you know, it's been a good start for me, and that's sort of the main thing that I wanted. But Chirac, you know, he's not going to back down from this very easily, although obviously we are both in EVR. I'm racing for EVR Team Yellow, and he is racing for EVR Team Pink as we come through the Sector 2, though. See, Burnout from my team is actually still applying the pressure quite a lot to Chirac here, so hopefully, you know, he can try and make a little bit of pressure. Let me go for a bit of a breakaway there. As we come into the final couple of corners there, Chirac goes for a very, very late move on me. Just a tiny bit of contact there, but unfortunately that's really cost the pair of us there. A Burnout now, we're going to go 3 wide up this start-finish straight there. I'm going to give him all the room in the world. And now Burnout's gone from 3rd to 1st through that final corner there, so that's been the start that he would have absolutely dreamed for there. Chirac's just going to try and pull behind him through turn 1. I'm not going to go for any risky moves at the moment there, but yeah, just a tiny bit of contact, and that's left Burnout from EVR Team Yellow in the race lead here. So perhaps a 1-2 could be on if I can make the moves on Chirac there. But as we come through Sector 2, just trying to get the car all over the curbs as much as possible. Chirac's going to have a look down the inside of Ben here. I'm just going to try and go for a bit of a switchback move on the pair of them. They get all over the curbs, just about get the car alongside Ben as we come through in towards the final sector of that lap here. And now we're going 2 by 2. As you can see, Chirac is still trying to hold it. Unfortunately for me, I sort of get pinned in a bit, so I'm just going to try and break nice and early, go for a bit of a switchback move. Ben runs a little bit wide, not able to get a particularly good run out of the final corner there, and we're going to be going side by side once more up this start-finish straight here, and coming down towards someone. He does seem to have a slightly better run than myself, that I'm going to back out down in towards someone. Don't really want to be going 2 by 2. You know, I barely had the car alongside him there, so I'm going to back out for now. Try and play my cards wisely as we come through the first couple of corners once more. They're just trying to make sure we get some nice clean apexes here. And Ben now still applying the pressure to Chirac there as we come through turn 4. It's a horrible but brilliant chicane all at once there. But as we come now through one of my favourite corners on the lap, going to try and make sure we get a nice good run out of the corner there. And you know, we're still all over the back of these two. Sort of want to pass Burnout, you know, if I still want to win this race, because Chirac might be able to try and go for a bit of a breakaway soon now. But coming through the final couple of corners there, Ben once again not able to get a particularly good run out of the final corner. And you know, unfortunately, slipstream on this game isn't particularly strong, which meant that unfortunately for me, you know, not able to maximise that run out of the final corner there. But still setting PBs in this race as we're all trying to get settled down into a rhythm there as we come through the end of the first couple of laps, and we're still all over the back of Ben. He runs a tiny bit wide through turn 3, not able to hook up that apex, flooring it ever so slightly early out of the next corner here. And you know, he's starting to feel a little bit unsettled at the moment. That gets very, very close to the gravel as well. You know, we're all just trying to push the track and the cut to the absolute limit there. And he's running a little bit wide through the next corner there, and that's going to give me the golden opportunity there. Both him and Chirac made a bit of a mistake through that corner. He's going to try and squeeze me to the inside, but we're going to have the inside in towards the hairpin there, brake as late as we possibly dare. Make sure we give him the room on the outside, but Ben backs out of it there, and now we move back up into P2 of the Grand Prix. This is exactly what I needed now, because this means we can once more try and apply the pressure to Chirac ahead of me here. As you see, only a quarter of the way through this race, and there's still been a huge amount of action here as we come through turn 1. Chirac making a tiny bit of a mistake there, not exactly getting the ideal line through the first couple of corners here, but we're still now really trying to apply the pressure. But it took us all the way to lap 14 for Chirac, you know, to really make any sort of a mistake here, you know, and I was now all over the back of him as we come through sector 2 here. He's all over the gravel out of the next corner. We've got Cameron making another mistake there as we go around to lap him, but through this next corner we seem once again just to be able to take a much better line than Chirac here as we come. We think about going for a move to the inside. We're going to have to go back to the outside there as he tries to make his car as wide as possible, breaking down in towards the final chicane. Going to try and go for a bit of a cheeky switchback move on Chirac there, but unfortunately not able to get the run out of the corner there. We're going to have to fall back for P2 for now, but you know, we're still going to be trying to pile on the pressure. We actually have one of TORA's head staff, you know, watching this race as well, so we sort of want to put on a bit of a good show as well. But through turn 1 and turn 2, Chirac not able to, you know, attack the curbs as much as I am at the moment there, and through the next corner get a much better run there, nearly pushing him down in towards the horrible fast chicane there. But through we go. Chirac attacks the curbs just that bit too much, gets a wheel on the gravel there, and we're now going to try and pounce once more. Going to brake a little bit early, get on the accelerator nice and early as well. We're going to be able to get a much better run than Chirac Have a look down towards the inside, in towards the final hairpin here. Exactly the same sort of move we made on Burnout about 10 laps ago, and breaking down. He's going to break a lot later than myself, run very, very deep into the corner. Now we're going to be side by side out of the final corner here. It's going to be a drag race up towards the line. Chirac pulls into the slipstream there, all over the back of me here, basically pushing me. He does make a tiny bit of contact with me there as we come down in towards turn 1, but I'm going to give him the room on the outside in case he does go for the move. That costs us both a little bit of time there. Coming down in towards turn 3 here, going to give him the room once more, and I attack the curbs way too much, nearly flipped the car there. Somehow able to land it back down on all 4 wheels there, but I nearly, flipped it into Chirac, and that probably would not have been ideal in this race. But Chirac holds on for now, but through this corner once more, he breaks that little bit later than myself, which means I can get on the throttle a whole lot earlier there. Chirac going to try and go defensive once more, but I'm going to try and make sure I can get another look down the inside in towards the final hairpin. It's going to be an absolute repeat of what happened last lap. Chirac once again breaks that bit later. I tried to break as late as possible as well, get on the throttle nice and early there. We're going to be side by side up towards the start-finish line here once more. What are we going to be able to do here? Down in towards turn 1, are going to be a little bit more firm with him this time. We are on the inside there, going to break just that bit later than he did the lap before, and Chirac completely runs wide there, completely locks up his brakes. Going to give him the room on the inside in case he did rejoin the track there, but I'm now able to move up into the race lead once more here. Chirac still all over my gearbox there. We've got to make sure we don't make any mistakes attacking that curb way too much. Probably not the ideal line through there. But yeah, we've now moved back up into the race lead, and so far these 2 races with Chirac have been absolutely incredible there. But coming on now on to the final lap of the Grand Prix there. Chirac, unfortunately, he made a couple of tiny mistakes there, which meant that I was able to make a little bit of a gap for myself. ESR Dizzle in front of me, I think, actually making contact with Miko there, gets completely speared off the circuit. Chirac gets caught out by that, so it's going to be another tiny little bit of a mistake by him through the final couple of corners then of this race. And once again, we were just able to pounce on the opportunities that were given to myself. Really felt, these were probably 2 of the strongest races I've ever really had on Project Cars. But through the final corner, it is going to be 2 race victories tonight in the TORA Ginetta GT4 SuperCup. They're very, very happy with those 2 results. Very, very unexpected as well. There's going to be 2 race victories for EVR and EVR Yellow there. I think that's about 250 points bagged as well overall in the standings. But yeah, very, very happy with those 2 results. Having a look at the race results from that race. As I said, I will take the race victory once more. Chirac getting another P2 there. Overall, I think he was a little bit gutted that I was able to out-finish him in both races there. P1 Gamble, after starting from the back, able to come in P3 with Gotti. P4 Dom in P5, having 2 solid point scoring races out this evening. Miko 6th, ESR Dizzle 7th, Huracan 8th. Unfortunately, Taylor and Burnout had to retire from the Grand Prix due to issues there. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more of this Ginetta GT4 SuperCup if you have not already and you did enjoy these races. Next week out is at Alton Park, and I'm certainly going to be aiming for a lobby. But as I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.